Hi, welcome to Carbondale. I'm Dan Richardson, Carbondale's mayor. We're here in downtown Carbondale with Sopris behind me next to COVENTURE's office. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to Carbondale and welcome to the Mountain Pitch event. Carbondale has always been focused on economic resiliency, from its days of coal mining and farming and ranching to being a bedroom community to resort towns like Aspen. And now we're focusing on innovation. We've always had the Carbondale Chamber, which has been a foundation to business success. We grew with the Creative District after that, which really brought in several different industries to really focus on creativity. And now we've got COVENTURE here, who's helping us transition to the new economy with innovation and entrepreneurship. The Mountain Pitch event is a great example of how COVENTURE is helping the community adapt. And for those of you who are lucky enough to be a part of it, I congratulate you and I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Mountain Pitch event of 2020. On behalf of COVENTURE and the Roaring Fork Angels, we are proud to present our third annual pitch event. I'm your host, Diana Pfeiffer, a proud member of the Roaring Fork Angels, which is a part of a larger investment group known as the Western Slope Angels. Roaring Fork Angels works in parallel with COVENTURE to connect new companies with an audience of resources such as funding, mentorship, or industry connections. COVENTURE is a co-working space here in Carbondale that offers business accelerator programs, incubation programs, and currently boasts 24 graduate companies who have collectively raised over $15 million. The Roaring Fork Angels is a very proud supporting role in that endeavor. All right, we are really excited to get things started, so let's get into it. We've selected 6 companies across the Western Slope to give you their best 5-minute pitch, followed by a brief 2-minute Q&A. Our goal for this event is to give those of you at home the opportunity to be involved with Colorado businesses in a meaningful, tangible way, whether that's going to be through direct investment, industry connections, strategic partnerships, or word of mouth. We know you want to see Colorado entrepreneurs thrive the way we do. So, before I introduce our first company, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Lowe, our Executive Director here at COVENTURE, for a very brief word about our special community sponsors.
Hi, I'm Mike Lowe, Executive Director of COVENTURE, and I want to welcome you to the Mountain Pitch event, which is online. And we are super grateful for all the entrepreneurs in the community to be a part of this. But I want to especially give a shout out to all our sponsors who've made this event happen and have really come together to make COVENTURE happen. I want to first thank our title sponsors, Slifer Smith & Frampton Real Estate, who've joined us on this entrepreneurial journey, not only as sponsors, but true partners. This rapidly growing team of agents has brought a next level value to both residential and commercial properties, and we're grateful to have them on board as community champions. Alpine Bank has been one of the greatest entrepreneurial success stories of the Roaring Fork Valley. Headquartered in Glenwood Springs, they now have branches not only across the Western Slope, but in Denver. They helped lead the way with PPP funding during COVID-19, and they continue to provide key support to important community initiatives, ranging from scholarships to event sponsorship. First Bank brings tremendous resources and expertise to our entrepreneurial ecosystem. They also quickly stepped in and helped community businesses with PPP funding. They provide a comprehensive range of services and now are an active part of our entrepreneurial community. Colorado Lending Source has been an important bridge connecting entrepreneurs to financial resources in our community that range from operating capital to infrastructure purchases. We're grateful to have their ongoing support as we strive to help businesses find the capital they need to be successful. Again, we want to give a special thanks to our title sponsors for this event, Slifer Smith & Frampton Real Estate, Alpine Bank, First Bank of Colorado, and Colorado Lending Source. Without the generous support of these companies, we wouldn't be able to put on this event, so thank you so much.
All right, everyone, we want to take the opportunity to introduce each of our judges on our expert panel. We have Mr. Shawn Bertini from 4 Points Funding and one of the managers of the Western Slope Angels. We have Ms. Haley Pacheini, who is the director of the mentorship program as part of the Roaring Fork Angels and also an investor mentor herself. And then we have Mr. Tyler Mabius, who is our proud co-founder of COVENTURE. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for being here. We're gonna move over to our first pitch of the series.
You've waited long enough. Let's get things started. First to present is Carbondale's own Adam Miller, CEO of Revel Bikes. This company is absolutely exploding. They've already locked in $250,000 from the Office of Economic Development and International Trade. They've been doing $1 million months post-COVID, and they're on track to shatter their pro forma projections for the next 3 years. So, what is their ask today? Well, more customers, of course, but also any strategic partnerships that can help them keep up with this insatiable demand for their bikes. All right, Adam, 5 minutes is on the clock. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Adam Miller, founder and CEO of Revel Bikes and Y Cycles. We are a manufacturer of high-end carbon fiber mountain bikes and wheels based here in Carbondale, Colorado. Quick history, I started the company in 2016. We launched the Revel Bikes products a year and a half ago in March of 2019. We have a few things that help set us apart. The CBF suspension patent and fusion fiber material. It's a modern take on more sustainable, stronger carbon fiber. Our vision is quite simple. We want to make the best carbon fiber mountain bikes and wheels in the world, and so far we're proven. In our first 10 months of business, we did $2.2 million in sales in 2019, and year to date for 2020, we've done $3.3 million in sales, on track to do about $5.1 million for the year. We have actually 3 bikes in the Revel Bikes lineup: the Ranger, the Rascal, and the Rail. We also make a line of carbon fiber wheels in 27-inch and 29-inch wheels, and then we have a line of titanium bikes as well. Our bikes start at about $5,000, go up to $10,000. We sell both B2B and B2C, and with COVID, we've seen a lot higher shift towards the B2C model, so we're quite happy about that and the better margins we see there. The Canfield Balance Formula is kind of the backbone of our technology for our bikes. It's a new suspension system. We're the only company using it, and it helps basically make the bike pedal much more efficiently, both uphill and downhill, and helps with braking forces by directing the drive forces right over the top of the chain ring. So that kind of helps sets us apart from other brands. Revel Bikes is most comparable to the competition like Yeti, Santa Cruz, Ibis, Pivot, but all those companies use older suspension designs, and our CBF system really helps set us apart. On the wheel side of things, we're comparable to Envy, Mavic, Crank Brothers, and Zip. All of those companies make their wheels out of traditional thermoset carbon fiber, not this modern fusion fiber that we're the only company using that as well. So the team is made up of myself. Jeremiah Starkey came on a few years ago as our COO and main operating guru and head engineer. And then we have 17 employees, full-time employees based here in Carbondale right now. So really we try to set ourselves apart with some really unique materials, fusion fiber over carbon fiber, some pretty cool designs, neat paint jobs, really cool suspension. We do a ton more testing than most other brands in the industry. So ISO certifications plus a whole lot, so we can be very confident in our products. And we just moved into a new 6,000 square foot facility, and as of a week ago, another 4,000 square foot facility. So we are ready to go here in Carbondale to be set up for a whole lot of growth. And the proof's kind of in the pudding. We've gotten tons of positive press from all over the world for our bikes and our wheels. And then most notably, very recently, we got the kind of most coveted award, the Outside Magazine Best Overall Mountain Bike of the Year. We're the youngest company ever to achieve that award, and that's really helped kick off our brand. Quick pro forma, we should finish this year just over $5 million, up to $15 million in sales with $2.5 million in EBITDA by 2023. And we're really proud that we have 17 full-time employees. We offer healthcare benefits all out here in rural Colorado. We work with a lot of Colorado-based companies. Our wheels are manufactured just a few hours away in Utah. And we're really trying to help elevate Colorado to the kind of highest level of the bike industry. So we're actually very fortunate. We already received our funding. So our ask right now with this pitch is just really to help us get the word out there, help us find new customers, and we're super open to any sort of strategic partnerships as well. So that's all I got for right now. Thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions.
Adam, thank you for that fantastic pitch. We're going to start your Q&A off with Tyler.
Hey, Adam, thanks. Really exciting. Kind Congratulations on the recent round. I guess I'll kind of ask a different question in terms of building a business here in Carbondale. What type of people you're looking to hire, and how can the town help you with that in terms of scaling the business?
That's a great question. Obviously, being in a small town and having a smaller potential candidate pool, there's some challenges there. But I actually think it's helped us quite a bit. Everyone in our company is a very passionate mountain biker, and usually skier, fisherman, fisherwoman, mountain people. So we're looking to hire passionate outdoorsy people that want to focus on high level careers. So I feel like we've been quite lucky in getting people who are passionate outdoorsy people, but are also really thrilled to be able to live in a place like Carbondale and have a full-time job with healthcare and whatnot. So the more dedicated, passionate people we can find who love living in a place like this, the better.
Great.
That's a great answer. Another question coming from my side. And by the way, I've seen about 400 reviews of Revel Bikes on YouTube. Like, it floods my channel. They're all fantastic. So pretty exciting. And a lot of it revolves around, as you kind of mentioned in your pitch, being such a young company to really hit the scene and get that immediate, good reputation is an incredible thing. I think that's enabled you to kind of keep that really premier price point. But the bike industry is kind of hitting a little bit of divergence here between traditional bike shops and direct to consumer. Sounds like more your successes come on that direct consumer despite having the higher price point. How long do you think you can kind of maintain that without having to go to more direct consumer prices with that competitive landscape? And just in general, how do you see the bike industry shaking out? I'm curious.
Yeah, and that's something that is a point of discussion very often in our building, is just deciding where to price the products. We actually raised prices twice since we launched because we got feedback that our prices were too low very consistently. So I think consumers have especially in the high-end bike world where, it's almost, it's the same as like a Ferrari in the bike world. These are high-end, sports cars of bikes. And if you price them too cheap, people think they're not as good. So some of our frames are actually $1,000 less than a comparable Yeti, for example. And yet it has all the same features, exact same quality, if not better in certain areas. So price discussion is a big one. And I think as direct consumer stuff has shifted, some brands like YT, Common Sol, Canyon are coming in with very low price points. Although I think luckily for us right now, we're able to maintain a higher price point than those brands because we're still lower than, say, Santa Cruz, Yeti, Evil, and we offer a really good level of service. So a lot of those direct-to-consumer brands don't offer fantastic post-purchase service, and we are trying to do that with exactly your question in mind of how do we maintain that price level. It's almost like if you price too low, you're targeting a different audience, and we want to target that high-end audience and just balance the right price of having a price that's high enough so consumers think, yes, that's a good quality product, but low enough that we're not ostracizing too many consumers in that high-end market. So I don't know exactly what that number is, but I feel like we're going to be able to maintain where we're at for the time being if we can maintain excellent customer service, and that's our current goal.
Great.
Great. Perfect. Thank you so much, Adam. Everyone, you heard it here first. Revel Bikes is the Ferrari of the bike world. So thank you so much. You were right on time, and we're off to our next event.
Next to pitch is Heath Paget, CEO of Campground Booking. This company has recently relocated to Montrose, Colorado to grow their business, and they are aptly named for their exciting new idea. You may recognize them from the Greater Colorado Venture Fund Pitch event because they were the big winners. They've already closed a successful round of $500,000, but today they are asking for an additional $250,000 to help them hit their goal of 1,000 campgrounds by 2022. You know what? Heath can do a better job explaining this than I can, so I'm just going to turn it over to him. Heath, you have 5 minutes starting now.
Hey, I'm Heath. I am the co-founder and CEO of Campground Booking. This is a photo of my wife and I from 6 years ago. We bought an old RV to go travel around the country. We thought it was going to be a one-off road trip. We ended up loving living on the road. We ended up building our careers on the road. We started a business catered towards other nomadic entrepreneurs. We started a conference, became ambassadors for companies like Winnebago. And eventually it's the reason why we started Campground Booking, where we make intuitive software for campgrounds. Over the last few years, the RV industry has been growing at a really rapid pace. And over the next 12 months, a report by the RV Industry Association suggested that there will be 46 million people who plan on taking an RV road trip, accounting for an average night stay of 6 nights in their RV. It will account for 276 million nights where people are staying in their RVs, many of those at the 17,000 campgrounds across the country. While this is great for the camping and RV industry, it does represent a problem in that a lot of campgrounds still take reservations just like this. Many use offline processes or really old, outdated systems without APIs. And so it's just a really frustrating process as somebody who's traveling around looking for a campsite, because you pretty much have to call, leave a voicemail, hope somebody gets back to you. And it just really has the opportunity to ruin what would otherwise be an awesome road trip. And it's frustrating for a lot of campgrounds as well, because effectively they're overwhelmed and they keep having people call and email, and they're at a tipping point as well. So much so that many are looking at how they can offload some of this work for manual hours that they're spending tracking, running their property, because that's not effectively why they signed up to run this business in the first place. This is why we started Campground Booking, where we make intuitive software designed specifically for outdoor hospitality and RV parks and campgrounds. We do everything from integrate with their QuickBooks, manage all of their incoming guests, and integrate with some of the most popular camping websites to drive more bookings to the parks. For the campers, the value is pretty straightforward. You don't have to call anymore. You can go to the campground's website and pick your site from an interactive map and book within 60 seconds, and you know that you're gonna have a place to stay that night. On average, we've been able to save our customers over 300 hours annually, with an increase in their reservations by upwards of 25%. One of our campgrounds said it really well, that their old systems spiked their stress levels and effectively made their job much harder than it should be. The Campground Booking platform resolved all of our problems with a very appealing and simple, complete way to manage our reservations. Thanks for that awesome review, Jen. This year, we've had over 200% growth in Campground Booking, starting off the year with 25 parks and now having over 80 signed up for our platform. In June of this summer, we were processing over 20,000 camper nights a month, with over 6,000 reservations flowing through our system. So we have a pretty high volume that is currently going through Campground Booking. The way we make money is pretty straightforward. We charge a $5 booking fee, and on average, each property is doing 1,000 reservations a year for an ARR of each of our customers of $5,000 and an LTV of $35,000. We do have some competition in the space, but we believe that we're going to be able to stand out from them because we built out some of the most meaningful partnerships with some of the most influential consumer-facing camping websites that are currently out there. And we have also built our team around this idea that we are actually RVers, and we understand our customers' customers, and therefore our campgrounds who are using our platform. And we've put in place a really amazing team to help take our company to the next level. The reason for our current raise, which we've been fortunate enough to complete our $500,000 seed node, is to help us reach 1,000 parks by 2022 and to build out some of our new features like our point of sale for our campgrounds. Ultimately, the reason why we started Campground Booking in the first place was to serve our need as RVers. We wanted to be able to find a place to book sites when we were traveling around in our RV. But ultimately, we've been able to create a product that serves the very small businesses that enable us to get outdoors in the first place. We've currently raised our $500,000 convertible note, and we've closed that round, but we are open to an oversubscription of $250,000 right now to continue ramping up sales as we're entering our peak selling season. And we've been working with the Western Slope Angels group to continue filling out that oversubscription. Thank you so much for hearing our pitch today.
Thank you, Heath. That was a fantastic pitch. Let's start our Q&A off with Ms. Haley Pacheini.
Thank you. Wonderful to hear about your product. I love I want to use it. I want to go camping right now. Tell me a little bit more about the exploration of contracts with the government, and just how does that all navigate to bring your product to the forefront?
Yeah, so one of the things that we looked at early on was long-term, we'd love the potential to be able to go out and apply for some of these larger government contracts. So we've done a couple things leading up to that. One, we were early in the RFP process for one of the state park contracts. When we first started the company, we were way too early to actually be a legitimate contender for that. But what we did as an exercise is we went through and kind of built out what we would need to be able to be a serious contender, to be able to put ourselves in that place. And also, one of the other things is I reached out and became friends / acquaintances with one of the entrepreneurs who has a lot of experience in the state park contract world, specifically in the camping space, and sought advice early on what we could do to put ourselves in a prime position. And one of the primary avenues was getting as many municipal city-run parks on board our platform so that we could prove out we could support a high volume of reservations. And today, that's one of our largest customer bases, is actually in the city sector. So we've been able to prove out, hey, we can work really well with private parks. We can take a high volume of reservations to our platform and it doesn't go offline, and we can serve the government sector really well. So those are some of the things that we've done to kind of lay the foundation for being able to go after some government contracts.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, it's a question coming from my end, Heath. I'm curious if you could kind of elaborate a little bit more. You know, you raised your 500,000 was your initial target. Now we're talking oversubscription, right? Which it's always a question of why. Sometimes that's just, we would have always raised up to. It sounds like, you know, you really have kind of changed the mindset a little bit about what's the absolute optimal for you guys. So congratulations on the 5. Help share a little bit more about why the extra 250.
Yeah, so one of the things was we opened up the round earlier this summer, and the intent was looking at kind of an 18-month forecast for what we need from a cost perspective. And over the past few months, especially this summer, we realized a couple things. One, we're kind of at a land grab time for signing up parks because a lot of them are looking to transition over. And the other factor is our sales team, like one of our sales team members closing 43% of her deals right now. And we just think that, hey, if we can double down on what's already working on a sales front and add a couple more folks to pour gasoline on this little fire, we can go out and capitalize to hit our numbers even faster in 2021. So really the intent, but behind the additional 250K is, you know, ramp up growth, if that makes sense.
Wow. Thank you.
You bet.
Great. All right. And that's time. Perfect. Thank you so much, Heath.
Thanks
Great
for having
job.
me.
Hi, I'm Tom Jankowski, Garfield County Commissioner, and I'd like to welcome all our viewers to the COVENTURE Mountain Pitch event. Garfield County is a rural county in western Colorado. We're a large county. We stretch all the way from Carbondale, where I am today, to the Utah border. We've worked really hard on economic development, and COVENTURE has been an important part of that, and they've been successful. They've had entrepreneurs that have gone on to open up businesses. We also have another kind of a co-op in Rifle, Colorado that COVENTURE coordinates with. On behalf of myself and my fellow commissioners, we appreciate this event. You know, thank you to the entrepreneurs and the presenters today, and best of luck to them. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Janikowski, for the words of wisdom and the warm shout out, of course. For those of you who don't really know much about COVENTURE, we want to take a minute to show you the space and kind of tell you what we have to offer. And to do so, we're going to go over to our friend Paige.
Hi, welcome to COVENTURE. We're a co-working space and business incubator in downtown Carbondale. I'm Paige Slaughter, the space manager here, and I'd like to show you around a bit. Come on in. This is our main co-working space where our members come and work at their designated desks or at shared desks. We're happy to have a team of ambassadors who volunteer to make our community feel really well supported and served. They bring a wide variety of talents and enthusiasm for the work that we're doing here. Our second and third floors are home to brilliant companies from technology to renewable energy and documentary filmmaking. We're so happy to have a wide variety of local businesses incubating in our space and tons of physical and consulting resources available to all of our members.
I love COVENTURE. I personally run my business from here, and you know, if you're a working parent like me, or a team passing through and you need some meeting rooms, or you just want to keep in touch with your office if you're working remotely, and COVENTURE is located right on Main Street, so you're kind of in the middle of everything. It's also a great space to meet clients. So especially if you're working from home or working remotely and you need a professional space to meet somebody, there's something here for everybody.
At the end of the day, COVENTURE is a community of entrepreneurs. We're all here supporting each other and building thriving businesses, and we hope you come and join us here in Carbondale, Colorado.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just tuning in, what took you so long? That's all right. For your convenience, we're recording this live stream and we'll put the link to the video in the comments below. So we have 3 more companies set to pitch, and we'll kick off our next one with Abby Stern. Abby is the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Bay Youll Retreat Center. Yes, Retreat Center. This is an unusual pitch for our event, but we've had a lot of requests from investors about real estate development opportunities. So this is a brand new, very exciting investment opportunity, but this savvy team is looking for equally savvy investors. Today, they're asking for $800,000 from involved investors who share their vision and their passion. Here's Abby Stern with the details. Abby, 5 minutes goes fast, and yours starts now.
I'm Abby Stern with the Bay Youll Retreat at Diamond J Ranch. I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out your mouth. Come on, everyone at home, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bring awareness to the soles of your feet and to the top of your head. And allow yourself to completely come into this present moment. As a society, we are distracted. We are glued to our devices, and stress and anxiety are at an all-time high. The Bay Youll Retreat at Diamond J Ranch is the necessary medicine that we need to come back together, to connect with nature, to connect with ourselves, and to connect with each other. Bay Youll, say it, Bay Youll is a Tibetan word. It means hidden lands, or a place where the physical and the spiritual worlds come together. The Bay Youll mission is to inspire conscious recreationalists to come together in community to make small changes that yield global impacts. Our market opportunities is that there is no natural retreat center in the Roaring Fork or the Vail Valleys. COVID-19 has turned the hospitality industry on its head. We are entering the market and putting safety first from the beginning. 50% of people in the States live in cities, and they do not have access to ample nature. And there's retreat centers around the world, but they are not surrounded by the beautiful wilderness here that we have in the Roaring Fork Valley. The global well-being economy was a $4.5 trillion market in 2018. And in 2018, $22.3 billion was spent on trips to Colorado. This was record-breaking. The Diamond J Ranch has been a guest ranch since the 1930s. It is commercially zoned, and this is a big deal in Pickens County. Here's a map of the property. You'll see that there's 15 separate cabins, a main lodge which has 8 rooms upstairs, 3 ponds on site, an adjudicated spring, 1,700 feet of the Frying Pan River, and it is surrounded by the White River National Forest and the Holy Cross Wilderness. So while it's 32 acres, there's thousands of acres across the property to explore. There is no local competition. We love Avalanche Ranch and T. Lacey 7, but they are not offering the same opportunities that we are. The Bay Youll Retreat provides the necessary medicine that we need to connect to nature. It is the perfect venue to host your wedding, to host a corporate gathering, family reunion, you name it, deep in nature. We actually already have 3 weddings on the books and 1 family reunion for 2021. We have a flexible revenue model ready to go. We also, with the 15 separate cabins, you can show up to the property with your family or your friends and not come in contact with anybody else. The on-site activities are endless. In the winter, you can backcountry ski right from the property. In fact, we are a connector on the 10th Mountain Division hut system. There are trails right on site to cross-country ski. In the summer, hiking is everywhere, and there's 10 plus alpine lakes all around the area. Our 1,700 feet of river access gives you a private place to fish, and we're 5 minutes from Rudai Reservoir. So sailing, boating, paddleboarding can really get into the water sports as well. We are raising a total of $1.8 million. We are halfway towards that raise. This will go for 1.5 years of runway capital and a down payment on our land. Are you our ideal investor? By year 2, at very conservative projections of just 40% occupancy, we will have $1.2 million in revenue and 25% margins. As we grow, we anticipate those margins to grow as well, 30 to 35%, up to 40%. We expect to give distributions in year 2 with confidence of giving the distributions in year 3. The appeal is a quick return on your investment. Investors will get their principal back quickly and be involved in a great community project. Myself, Ruben Sadowski, and Andrew Skews have decades of experience in event production, hospitality, wellness retreats, and finance. We are ready to make this project a booming success. And we've brought in our asset managers, Imprint Hospitality, to help us with all of the nitty-gritty hospitality details. They have 10 properties under management and are based in Denver. We went under contract on Diamond J on July 8th. We have a current closing date of November 4th. We plan on a melt-in model where we will take the keys right away and run Diamond J as is, learning as much as possible. It's our intention to launch our own brand on March 1st. We're looking for somebody to join this project who understands the power of community, who is looking to be part of something that will be a strong force in the Roaring Fork Valley for decades to come. Join us as we open the Bay Youll Retreat at Diamond J Ranch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abby. That was a fabulous pitch. We're going to start our Q&A off with Sean Bertini. Sean?
Yeah, thank you. So I understand that I think it was 15 cabins and 8 rooms, and it sounds like the budget is to assume operations, rehab that, and give you some operating capital, right? Can you just give us really quickly, what are the current state of the rooms, how much maybe work has to be done there? And have you given any consideration, or is even the possibility of expanding the number of cabins or rooms to increase your capacity there?
Yeah, so the previous owners are actually a development company based in Texas. So they did a great job of maintaining the rooms. They built the 2 largest cabins in 2014, and all 15 cabins and the main lodge are in great shape. So initially what we'll be doing is just updating the bedspreads, updating the lighting, doing simple touches aesthetically, but the actual condition of the cabins and the main lodge are really, really nice. And then when it comes to adding more keys, this is something we've absolutely been talking about. And our first piece to doing this will be on the glamping side. So we've been in touch with Pickens County to talk about what we can do for glamping to build semi-permanent structures to put tents on top of. That would be round 1. And then the other piece that we've looked at is, we know van life and RVs are really on the rise right now. And why we don't think that we'll go with the full-size large RVs, we'll limit to vans and small trailers. And we have picked out a spot on property which is gorgeous among one of the aspen groves, where they can be tucked away, have enough light for solar, but where they won't really be able to be seen on the full property.
That's great. Thank you.
Great. Abby, in terms of the investment, Is it that you're investing in the operations on the ranch, or you're investing in the property as well, or both? How does that work?
So it's both. So we looked at what we're calling combining PropCo OpCo, so the property and the operations into one business. And so the investment is for both. And the intention behind that is that the property and the operations really do go hand in hand, and everything we do with the operations will be adding benefit to the property and vice versa. And so we really are talking about what we can do to the physical property to really upkeep the landscape and how we can preserve the beautiful landscape that is all around.
Thank you.
Great, thanks everyone. On to our next pitch.
For our next pitch, Brian Wax is here to tell you about Quicker Stuff. If you own a bike, you're going to want to pay attention to this company. So far, Quicker Stuff has secured $183,000 so far, with another $250,000 under review. Brian Wax has been a very special leader in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. He brought us Western Slope Startup Week to our local area. He's also played a very important role in establishing a supply chain here in Western Colorado so that our companies can continue building cool products. Today, Quicker Stuff is looking to raise an additional $500,000 from individual investors with strong expertise in the outdoor recreational industry. Fun fact, Brian told me that he hates himself on video, so no pressure, Brian, but I'm turning it over to you. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Hi, I'm Brian Wax, the CEO and co-founder of Quicker Stuff. And this is Randy. She is the love of my life, and we do everything together. So what's the first purchase every couple makes? A bike rack, of course. So we went to REI and we were looking around, and I asked the manager about the one-up rack. And he says, oh, we don't carry that rack. They only sell that online, direct to consumer. So I searched on Google and I found 2 websites. And in small print on one of the websites, it says, contact me if you want to license this. So I did. This is Cal Phillips, and he's the inventor of the highly successful one-up quick rack. I contacted Cal, and after talking for about 3 weeks, he traveled to Grand Junction to meet with me and some manufacturers to see if we could get his newest design out into the world. This is the Quick Rack Mach 2, his latest design, with 6 most requested improvements and 14 patents. Bike sales, especially heavy, expensive recreational e-bikes, are growing rapidly, and COVID has only increased demand for these. The global e-bike market is expected to reach $24 billion by 2025. That is 4 times higher than the entire US bike sale market in 2015. The Quick Rack Mach 2, a premium modular aluminum bike rack with no tools needed. Designed for all bikes and vehicles, 2 arms that grab any size tire, and especially those heavy e-bikes with a 300-pound capacity. Need 1 bike? You're good to go. Going with your wife? Just clip in another add-on. Add up to 3 for 4 bikes total. On July 1st, we emailed about 1,000 people in our 6,300-person waiting list for 44 orders and 100 products with $36,000 in sales. Since August 20th, we have emailed an additional 5,000 people for orders of $250,000 in sales. With these pre-sales and investments, we want to lease automated CNC machines, buy inventory in larger batches, increase efficiency with volume, and get to our targeted 38% gross margin for direct-to-consumer. Our capital stack consists of $183,000 in startup capital, $286,000 in sales and pre-sales, a $100,000 commitment from the Greater Colorado Venture Fund. We just applied for a $150,000 grant from OEdit. And this ask for this round is $500,000 of a mix of debt and equity. We have a seasoned team of leaders, makers, and mentors that are driven. We're Quicker Stuff, and we build high-quality, innovative, outdoor recreational products in Grand Junction, Colorado, so people can get outside easier and experience all the joys of nature and stay healthy. take a ride with us and invest in some healthy growth. Thanks.
Thank you for your pitch, Brian. Your 2-minute Q&A starts now with Ms. Haley Pacheini.
Thank you so much. So can you give me a little bit more information about the B2B versus B2C part of your business, and where you're headed in each of those categories?
Well, B2B will be long ways off, at least 5 years. Right now, we're focusing on direct to consumer so we can capture all the margin. But also this rack has the history of being direct to consumer. So it's an easy hill to climb. And my background as a digital marketer is a lot of direct to consumer products plus outdoor rec has been a focus in the last few years. So it's just a natural path for us.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and maybe you can expand upon, you had mentioned that the goal of this fundraise is to sort of start to focus on margin expansion. Maybe you could just go in a little bit deeper in terms of what that plan is and how you expect to achieve that.
Okay, well, when we look at our cost of goods sold, and I'm blessed with a partner, JT, who's been in aerospace manufacturing, we know to produce these parts, and there's 55 parts per rack that are machined, we need some high-end robotic CNC machines, and that will enable us to get our cost of sales to a projected 38% with economies of scale. And that's huge, with direct to consumer, obviously. We can't even talk about, B2B until we get, above 45-50. So the goal initially for the first, 3 to 5 years is a 38% to 40% cost of goods sold through mechanization. And then we'll open up to B2B if that makes sense for the business plan.
Great, thank you.
All right. Wow, that was really good and really fast. Thank you so much, Brian. And we're going to move on to our next event for the pitch series.
Quick introduction to myself, Sean Bertini from 4 Points Funding. We've been pursuing Opportunity Zone and angel investing across the Western Slope for several years now, and here specifically to talk about West Slope Angels. So the arm of our operation that has been focused on organizing angel investors across the Western Slope of Colorado for, I can't believe it, but coming up on 3 years now. Over the past couple of years, we've reorganized ourselves in more of a chapter model and trying to enable and support individual communities throughout the Western Slope to sort of form their own organizations and support their entrepreneurs. Roaring Fork Angels has been one of our sort of long-standing successful chapters, and is a really good example of the communities that are the best organized and the most active, ultimately seeing the best results. And so we've had 4 of our 10 investments to date have come from this region, and really kind of a testament to what can happen when a community pulls itself together, creates its own events, and helps kind of get their investors involved in the conversation.
My name is Rick Carlson, and I'm a member of the Roaring Fork Angels. I got to tell you, I'm real excited about being a member of this angel organization. I just was lucky enough to invest in Mountain Flow Eco Wax. What's interesting, this is the same kind of quality deal that you'd find in any top, angel organization anywhere in the United States. It's been vetted by some of the best people in the industry, and here it is available in downtown Carbondale.
Thank you very much. Cannot do this without great local leadership, angels, and entrepreneurs, and would encourage everybody watching this today to go to West Slope Angels, go to COVENTURE, sign up, be a part of the solution and helping create some economic diversity and some fantastic new jobs and supporting great entrepreneurs in our region. So thank you so much, and yeah, good luck to everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. Our next pitch is led by one of our favorite CEOs in the COVENTURE incubator, Mr. Peter Arnold. Mountain Flow launched one of the world's most popular plant-based ski waxes in an industry where nearly all ski wax was petroleum-based. Now they sell in every major ski market in the world. Mountain Flow has completed a successful raise, but today they are eager to broaden their industry relationships and excited to chat with retailers, resorts, or media personnel. That's enough from me. Let's kick things over to Peter so he can give us the full details on Mountain Flow. Peter, make your 5 minutes count.
Hi, my name is Peter Arnold. I'm the founder and CEO of Mountain Flow EcoWax. So first let me talk a little bit about the problem that we've solved. We make eco-friendly ski wax. And before we came on board, just about all of the ski wax in the world was made from petroleum. And furthermore, whatever you put on your skis or snowboard goes directly into the snowpack and then into local water sources. Before we created our plant-based wax, there were really very few eco-friendly wax options throughout the whole world. So last year we launched a line of entirely plant-based, non-toxic, and biodegradable wax. Our formula has been rigorously tested. Before we launched, we ran a series of controlled performance tests, and we were able to prove that our wax was just as fast or faster than any competitor's wax on the market. And on top of that, we were able to have a little bit of IP protection. We filed a utility patent back in January. So what have we done? What success have we had over the last year or so? I'll tell you a quick story that kind of illustrates how far we've come. So last year, REI reached out and they were looking for a new wax brand to bring in across their whole network of stores. And they got samples from just about every wax company out there. And they sent some samples to their sustainability team to evaluate how eco-friendly and sustainable the products were. And then they sent the same samples to their ski experts. These are wax techs from all over the country, just to figure out what ski's the best, what's the fastest wax out there. I had a call with the buyer from REI yesterday, and he said that we actually won from both categories. So we were both the most sustainable, and their ski experts felt like we were the fastest and best wax to ski on. So they're going to be placing a PO with us in the next couple weeks. So this is super exciting. To be able to get that kind of feedback from a vendor like REI is it's amazing. So we're thrilled. Looking at some of our other successes, we're now in 150 stores throughout the world. REI being the biggest. We're also in Moose Jaw, LL Bean, Backcountry.com, Christie's Sports locations throughout Colorado and the West. We also have international distribution in Canada as well as all of Europe, and then Australia and New Zealand as well. We're also working with a number of resorts. They're probably the biggest user of ski wax. They wax their entire rental fleet, which in the case of Killington is 5,000 skis. They're waxing that fleet at least once a week. So we started working with them last year, and we're going to be working with Lax in Switzerland this year, amongst some others. We also have an amazing team of pro athletes. The guy featured here is Colby Stevenson. He won 2 X Games gold medals last year using our wax. And then we won a bunch of really amazing awards last year at the Outdoor Retailer Trade Show in Denver. The Innovation Award, Best New Gear from Outside Magazine, Popular Mechanics, Men's Journal, Business Insider, Gear Patrol, amongst others. So really great year last year. What are the opportunities moving forward? One of the new things that we're introducing this year, which we're really excited about, is a race wax. So starting this year, fluorocarbons are now banned in race wax pretty much across the world. Fluorocarbons are a known carcinogen. They're toxic to both the environment and to humans, but they've still been used in high-end ski wax for decades. Starting this year, that's no longer the case. So ski wax companies around the world are scrambling to come up with an alternative. We have not only a non-fluoro, but a plant-based race wax that we're introducing this year. We ran a bunch of tests last spring. Again, it was just as fast or faster than any non-fluoro race wax that we could test. We've got an exclusive ceramic nanotechnology, which makes this possible. And to lend credence to that new product, we just signed on the #1 skier in the world. Alexander Kilde is a 2020 overall World Cup champion. He's a Norwegian ski racer, and he signed on to help promote and use Mountain Flow's race wax this season. And then another new and exciting announcement, we just launched a line of plant-based bike products. Similar to the ski wax market, just about all bike products, especially bike lubes, are made from petroleum. Whatever you put on your bike ultimately ends up in the environment, whether you're washing it off or it just comes off on a trail or on the road. So we've developed a line of plant-based bike lubes, bike wash, and actually a plant-based bike grease. What are we asking for today? Believe it or not, we're not asking for any money. We're looking for industry connections. This whole game is based on relationships. And we've spent a lot of time building these relationships, and then eventually they end up with a purchase order for us, which is great. So if you guys have any connections, whether it's media, resort, retail, we'd love to start these conversations. And oftentimes a warm introduction goes a long way, and it can really speed up the whole process. So please feel free to reach out. And if you are interested in investing, although we're not raising a round right now, the next round is always around the corner. So if you are interested, we'd love to chat with you more. Happy to dive into the financials, and we can get you on the wait list for the next round. Thank you so much to COVENTURE, West Slope Angels, everybody else who's putting this on. We love being part of this network, and we're really excited for what's to come. Thanks so much.
Peter, thank you so much for that pitch. Let's get our Q&A started with 2 minutes. I think we're going to start with Sean Bertini.
Appreciate it. Peter, just curious, you got a lot going on, you're growing the business, you're kind of branching out internationally, but I know also, right, the bike line. Can you talk a little bit about where your time and emphasis lies right now, so we know what the real bread and butter, as it were, lies within the business?
Sure. So at this point, we're focusing a lot on our new products. We got a ton of great press last year. Our product line from last year is well known throughout most of our retailers right now. And so our focus is on introducing our new products, which is mainly our line of race wax. As some of you may be aware, fluorocarbons were banned pretty much across the world last year, and all of those bans just went into effect. So ski wax companies around the world are scrambling to come up with a solution. Our new race wax already meets all of the new standards. So we're making a big push to introduce that. We just signed on with the #1 skier in the world, Alexander Kilda. He's a 2020 overall World Cup champion, loves the wax, and he's going to be a big asset for us to get this on the worldwide market. And then to answer the second part of your question about the bike line, we have all the products ready. And at this point, we're seeding product to media and some bike shops, and then as well as the Southern Hemisphere. But that push will really come in the spring.
Thank you. Hey, Peter, maybe you can just give us a little bit of overview in terms of how you think, COVID's going to impact the business this year with the upcoming ski season and so forth, and maybe share some thoughts around that.
Sure. Yeah, so everyone was kind of holding their breath throughout the summer. Shops weren't really buying anything. Ski resorts weren't sure what they were going to do. Operational plans are starting to come out now. Alterra, Vail, Jackson Hole all released their plans, and it's pretty optimistic. It looks like people are going to be able to ski throughout the country, which is great news. Somewhat limited capacity, but for the most part, we haven't seen sales dip. People still need ski wax. They're still going to be renting skis. And we're actually seeing a bunch of orders starting to come in the last couple of weeks. Now that people, A, they're seeing snow, and B, that they know that they'll be skiing in some capacity. As a hedge for the business, we have made a big push internationally. The ski season seems more robust over there. So we're going to try to make up any lost revenue with international sales.
That's great to hear. And I got to say, the stash is looking fat. Does the Eco Wax cross as a product for that as well? Is that like part of your secret?
Totally non-toxic, really shines it up, and makes it look nice for Zoom.
I love it. Looking good.
Thank you.
All right, Peter, we are at time. Thank you so much, and we'll move on to our next event.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Like many of the stories you've heard today, this next company is an outstanding example of how even during a global crisis, you can have an opportunity to get smart in your market. Gina Cuccina makes healthy, nutritious products that have had tremendous success pivoting to online retailing to sell directly to their consumers. They've raised half their goal this year of $500,000 and are looking to raise the remaining $250,000 today. Here's Gina to tell us more details. Gina, you're on the clock. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Gina D'Orazio-Stryker, founder and recipe artist of Gina Cuccina. We are a mission-based company. We manufacture organic soups, sauces, hummuses, pestos, plant-based sliders, and so much more in 10 ingredients or less. As a child, I was a notorious early riser and garden raider. My grandmother loves to tell the story of my first recipe where I snuck out of the house and into the garden, pulled up a beet, raced over to the orchard, pulled up a plum. I loved the colors together, and I waltzed into the kitchen where she was making our morning bread and asked her to make me something and add cinnamon. I use variations of that same recipe still. Now, I am a mother to 2 sets of twins, 2, and I know how important it is to nourish them on a daily basis, which is part of the starting ground of Gina Cuccina. Today, in the United States, over half of the adults suffer from one or more chronic diseases based on diet. And for the first time in over 200 years, our children may not have the opportunity to live as long as we do. So what are we doing at Gina Cuccina? We're making better food for you. We have the cleanest nutritionals in the marketplace. The second problem that I see, human trafficking. We make certain that all of our sourcing is clean of human trafficking, and on every jar of soup we sell, we educate the consumer on what that looks like. The market size and opportunity. With just 3 categories that we've jumped into already, soups, hummus, and sauces, we have the opportunity to participate in a $13 billion a year category. And how do we stack up against our competitors? Our sauces, bar none. I was trained in the kitchen of my grandfather, who was born, raised, and trained to be a chef in Italy. They're pretty yummy. Our hummuses, our beet hummus alone has 1 beet in every jar of hummus that we sell. And our soups, we have so many different varieties, and we kind of turn them on their head. Our tomato soup is not just tomato soup, it's tomato artichoke soup. We add the artichoke in to make it creamier and give it a dairy taste without actually having dairy in it. What do the consumers want today? Variety. We have exciting and bold flavors. Freshness. You can literally go to the farmer's market and buy all the ingredients to make these products and make it yourself. We're letting you know that we can cook it for you. We cook it and we cook it with love. We're organic, we're non-GMO, no additives, no preservatives, no added sugars in any of our products, and we have the lowest sodium content against all of our competitors in the marketplace. We have clean labeling. What more could you want for a meal for your family? Our current traction, our soup distribution. So right now we are in UNFI, KeHE, and PFG Roma, the 3 largest food distributors in the nation today. Whole Foods carries us, Fresh Time carries us, and Albertsons Safeway carries us. With just those 3, once we go national, which we are actively working on today, I had a conversation with Whole Foods about it yesterday, that's $6.5 million in revenue. That doesn't include the fact that we just launched our online business in August of 2020 with the help of Tyler Mabius and Fastgate to great results. Our users increased by 875%, our revenue increased by 311%, and just with the onset of COVID, the online business has been turned on its head. From January to July, it was a $497 billion, the largest numbers ever reported. And July alone was a 55% year-over-year increase on online sales in the CPG world. Very exciting that we've just entered on it. And the other beauty of online sales is there are no limits. We can sell any of our products online. We were also awarded in March the hot food bars in Whole Foods Market for 2 regions, Rocky Mountain region and NorCal. And we actually have the POs in place, but we got put on hold due to COVID. They still want to carry us in their hot food bars once it all opens up again, and we don't know when that will be. What is our potential? By 2024, $25 million in revenue, while increasing our gross margins along the way. Who's the team? Me, hi, and Eric Grippentrog. Now, Eric is amazing. He came to me a year ago, and he has 27 years in the CPG world. He worked with Kellogg's and Panera Soup, and he came to me because he loved the product. He loved the clean product, the transparency, and the mission. So he's joined us now. Exit strategy. We'd like to sell Gina Cuccina in 2025 for $75 million. We believe that that's a 3-time multiple, and that is a conservative guess. If you look at the list that we have up here, it goes from 3.5 to 6-time exit revenue. We're taking a conservative look at it. Use of funds. We really want to invest in our online marketing and to launch and capture the D2C business growth opportunity. It's kind of amazing right now to increase our soup flavors and the different categories that we want to jump into. I want to do baby food. Baby food is a huge profit margin category, and I make the best baby food and the cleanest nutritionals for those little buggers. We also want to properly invest in our supply chain so that we have an inventory back. And also, we have never supported our product in the stores. It just sells because it's delicious and it's what people want to eat today. Our brand, it's bigger than the bowl. In a world of overly processed food, we have a process too. It's called cooking, and we do it with love. Real food for real people. Please join us on this adventure of changing the dynamic around how we eat our food. Thank you.
Gina, thank you for your pitch. We're going to start your 2-minute Q&A with a question from Sean Bertini.
Thank you. Hi, Sean.
Hey. Hi. Thank you so much. I think, you've talked about this kind of throughout, the time I've known you, in your business plan, in your pitch, right? That these distribution channels, the potential size, all of that. For those of us maybe not in consumer packaged goods, can you elaborate a little bit on what that sales cycle looks like, for a Whole Foods expansion? I imagine most of these companies are fairly similar, or is there really distinct playbook depending on where you're going?
There's a very distinct playbook. Like yesterday, I had a long conversation with Global Whole Foods, and how they want to break us out is they want to do us in, so our next 2 divisions that they want to put us into are NorCal and Pacific Northwest. And then they would bring in SoCal and Arizona, Nevada areas. So it's each state is different. And then today, actually at noon, I had a conference with Costco, and they are starting us in 3 regions as well. That what their hope would be. I'm shipping them product today. So they would start us in the San Diego region, which is odd, but that's what it consists of Colorado. And then they would start us in the Midwest region and the Pacific Northwest. And then they move across the states. So their choice for us now is to start us everywhere around Colorado, Western based, and then continue to move. They actually are having us, KeHE is having us ship today as well. I have to ship product to New York-based distributors today because they want to talk about opening that up. So KeHE is taking it differently. Each distributor, it's completely different, and I never know which way it's going to come at us. We just say, okay, samples are shipped, and we just keep moving forward. So,
Gina, thank you so much. So to our viewers at home, stay tuned because we have a few more things. We want to give you a couple more goodies for the end of the show. So.
On behalf of COVENTURE, I also want to thank our community partners who helped us 3 years ago get off the ground and continue to support us with expertise and resources and capital. Special thanks to Garfield County, the town of Carbondale, the Office of Economic Development, Roaring Fork Leadership, and the Rotary Clubs of Carbondale and Aspen Glen. Also, Startup Colorado has played an important part in growing the entrepreneurial ecosystem on the Western Slope and has provided key funding and support for our programming. The Small Business Development Council, the SBDC, has played a vital role in providing free consulting to businesses at all levels. Their services have now become more important than ever as business struggle to survive these challenging times. They are an important branch of OEDIT and work closely with COVENTURE to provide high-level customized consulting for a variety of business challenges. And finally, a big shout out to all of our local chambers in the Roaring Fork Valley who have provided a vital network to our businesses to connect and find resources. Thanks to the Rotary, the Chamber, Startup Colorado, and the SBDC, our businesses have been able to not only survive this crazy time, but thrive.
We've had some great pitches today. We've had some even better Q&A sessions, but we would love to hear from our judges, some final thoughts, maybe some words of encouragement for our entrepreneurs. Haley, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Thank you so much again for having me. Whenever I get to hear the entrepreneurs themselves talking about their businesses, their visions, and the impact that they're making, I just always feel really encouraged and inspired. So thank you all for sharing that with us. I know this has been a very unusual year as a business owner of any shape or size, as well as employees. So I just want to encourage you all that if things are just feeling out of your scope or control or realm of influence, that you are not alone. And that this is also a unique opportunity because many of the playing fields that were previously there have been leveled. And so I just encourage you all to keep your eyes open and being available to pivot or change, to make use of this time in a positive way. And if you feel like you're getting in a place where you're stuck or you're just not having the right team to help you, please reach out to this community. That's what we're here for. We want you to succeed. We want you to not feel overwhelmed by how to get the grants or other things that are available. Let us be resources to you. So again, thank you for sharing your passions with us.
All right, thank you, Haley.
Sure.
Tyler, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, just, thank you for the courage, for showing up, for starting the businesses. I can't tell you how many times as an entrepreneur I found myself in that fetal position. And, this is a tough year. It's a tough time. And my mom used to always say that the hottest fires forge the strongest steel. And so, great companies are made at times like this. And so stay strong, stay persistent and determined. And remember, you're not saving lives. Smile and enjoy this beautiful valley that we live in. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Sean, would you like to add anything for our entrepreneurs?
I think outstanding comments from co-judges, and just would like to extend my thanks as well. Incredible supportive group, and really want to make sure that everybody reaches out that would ever care to play a part in this. Obviously, the Angels were looking to raise money if you contemplate investment in any of the companies, but even if you're not looking at investing with dollars, maybe invest with time. That's true for the Angels, for the entrepreneurs and taking advantage of these great resources, for community leaders that, can show up and help organize at any level. There's a part for everybody to play, and I think we're all stronger if we stand together. So encourage you to sign up, reach out to COVENTURE, go to westslopeangels.com, whichever you prefer. And look forward to hopefully seeing more of your smiling faces directly. My parting note, we are in fact, we had committed ahead of this event actually to organize investment in campground booking. And so West Slope Angels has been pursuing due diligence, and we have interest from investors across the West Slope. So for as little as $10,000, any accredited investor that has interest, I'd encourage you to reach out, dig into the due diligence room. We'll answer any questions we can. And going forward, we'll of course be following up with the rest of the presenters as well and trying to see how we can best support them. So thank you very much and great job.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sean. And for those of you tuning in, if you would like to hear some more information about our accelerator programs, I'm going to turn it over to John. John?
Hi, my name is Jonathan Stokely, co-founder and director of growth strategy here at COVENTURE. We have helped several of the businesses today and 11 others find almost $15 million in investment funding. If your business is generating revenue, poised for growth, and you're ready to take it to the next level, I invite you to join the 2021 COVENTURE Accelerator Program, where we will take a deep dive into your financials, marketing strategy, and investor presentation, and help you find the funding you need to take it to the next level.
Hi, I'm Rachel Young. I'm the founder and CEO of Yaupon. Yaupon is the North American plant that contains caffeine and theobromine. It's the cousin of yerba mate. I've recently opened an office in Carbondale, Colorado at COVENTURE. I have also been accepted to the accelerator for next year. And really, I just wanted to give a shout out and a congratulations to all the semifinalists in the Pitch Slam and say that I am excited to be there next time.
Well, that is a wrap today, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us and taking time out of your day. Thank you so much and congratulations to the entrepreneurs. 6 great stories from 6 great companies that we are so proud of and how far they've come. What we're doing here is very simple. We're building great companies in small towns. And whether that's through incubators, acceleration programs, co-working spaces, or investor groups, there's a lot going on the Western Slope, and we just want to help these entrepreneurs get to the next step. So, what do you do next? Well, you can go to the COVENTURE website to get any information on contributing to the companies you've seen today, nominating a company to pitch in future events, starting your own co-working space in your local area, or becoming an investor. And part of the beauty of our syndicate model is that you can invest with a minimum of $10,000. Before we go, we want to thank a lot of people, all of our strategic partners, our community partners, our judges today, of course, our entrepreneurs, our venture capital partners at Western Slope Angels, Greater Colorado Venture Fund, and the Rocky Mountain Venture Fund. And a final thank you to our fabulous director, Krisha, from Common Language Productions, and her team in hosting and producing this very special event. All right, that's it, everybody. Have a great day, and remember, great companies can start anywhere.